Hey everybody, this is Asher. Let's play Dawn of the Meh-SHEE-kah, a game by Pablo Baron, and it is a roguelike that is an alternate history of the Aztecs around the time where the conquistadors arrived onto the shores of Mexico. And it is a very difficult roguelike, and I will just toot my own horn and say that I think I might actually be the first person on YouTube who got their ass kicked by this game and decided, you know what, let's go back for more. So hopefully I'm the first of many, because this is a very good, very interesting game that deserves some recognition. And honestly, it's a mountain I'm really willing and wanting to climb on. Plus, it's a pretty good educational experience because we're going to be learning some new words, some new vocabulary. It's all for a very good time. So I'm going to be diving into a new game because we've already played through the tutorial off screen, so I can tutorialize here as we go on. You can see this is a game where you do have stats. We're just going to do a random name for now. There are various classes that we can choose from. Right now I have just a few unlocked: the warrior, the atomy, the healer, this guy who is an earth mage that I hate, that I've looked for some pronunciation guides, but I haven't been able to find that one, or the firefly. I need to ask the developer and say, hey, wait a minute, can I get a pronunciation guide for some of these things here? I'll learn it eventually. But we are going to play a warrior here first. And if you watch my other video on this from my Free Play Friday series, you'll know that sometimes the runs can go pretty short. I'm not going to be as reckless in this. I'm going to be a little bit more methodical, and I'll talk about why. But this is a great set of stats for starting with, because we have high strength. I hope you can see my cursor. High constitution, high luck roll, high quickness. You can see each class has a set of attributes that they want. And luck is just pretty good, pretty important anyway. Quickness will let us get more attacks in. Constitution means more endurance. Strength means more damage. So let's dive in. There's that sound. Whew, that was a good pickup on my mic there. But pretty much how you start out the game is that you always get to level up and pick some attributes here. Now, I have some things that I like to do versus what's optimal. I'm not exactly sure yet, because information for this game, and part of the appeal for me with this game, is that information is not widely available. Like, the developer did do one stream where he didn't make it super far, but he did go over a lot of important, interesting points and details. Like, maybe I should pick up the throwable weapon skill, even though my dex isn't super high, just because if my weapons start wearing down, I want to have something as kind of a backup plan. So those are potentially good options. But yeah, there's a lot of little background ambient sounds, but let's see if we can get through everything here. Berserk is an ability I'm not really a huge fan of. I have accidentally done some things I shouldn't with berserking, but you can see we can potentially dual wield. I am going to take a level in tactics because it isn't explained here. It's explained in the F1 menu in game that tactics does increase your damage output, and we're going to be increasing swimming because we want at least a little bit of swimming skills so that we don't drown and kind of go under. And you can see we have 2 skill points available. Those will carry on for the next level. So if I didn't like what I did here, I could reset, but this is fine. We have level 4 one-handed blades, level 3 two-handed blades, which is fine. So how the game starts out here, and I will not always be reading these story things, but since we're here first, we're going to, and I am going to be playing on the zoomed in mode, just because that makes it a little bit easier to see. Maybe contextually we'll zoom out from time to time, but you see we have clouds and darkness everywhere. What it says, and I apologize, I've been trying to go through and follow pronunciation guides, but we'll see how I do here. Our world is in the 5th era of a cycle of creation and destruction. We believe the gods would lead us to survive this time if we made the appropriate sacrifices. We are the people of the sun, and it is our duty to nourish the sun god through blood. However, the world has changed. Huitzilopochtli, the sun god, did not rise this morning. Wild animals are restless and attack those who come near. Some even say the terrible Zidzimini have been spotted. Kohatl, the tribe shaman, has chosen you to travel north and find entrance to Mictlan, the underworld, where Huitzilopochtli always spends the night. There you must find an answer. Note that we won't always find an answer, but we do have a few things just to point out here before we even make the first move. Like, we are satiated, which is the green sort of stomach status up here. We're sweating because it's 26 degrees Celsius. We have 90 HP and 62 stamina, which is pretty good to start. We have our good pupper to the right here. If we do the press X to examine here, we have a Zoli Zuktali. I really should look up what that is. Maybe I can actually find it. Not all these words were actually available in the pronunciation guides I've looked for, and I've tried to find primary sources because unfortunately a lot of the things you look for, like Google videos for pronunciation, are completely incorrect. But the first thing I'm going to do here is go to our inventory because we do have 2 weapons available. One is a one-handed sword. I think it's pronounced meh-SHEE-kah sword. The bigger one is a meh-SHEE-kah sword, which is a 2-hander. These are great weapons if you ever look it up on Google, and the pixel art kind of tries to show it here. It's a wooden club with obsidian spikes put into here because we don't have really iron forging the same way and smelting as we do other places. But I'm going to wield this in the right hand first because it would really suck if we forgot to actually equip this. Now, there is a skill for liquid identification, and I could attempt to examine this liquid. I don't really care to right now. But we are going to go ahead, and the first thing we can do, in case anyone's watching here a few minutes in already and wants to know, this is our dog companion. Can we pet the dog? We can pet the dog. So this is a game that can be added to that list. So here's our shaman. This person will heal us, and he says, material reality hosts both gross matter and light matter. Us from gross matter are only temporarily of this world that belongs to Teotl. If we don't appease the Teotl for treading on their territory, they might decide to end this cycle. So the Aztec tradition, which if you're not familiar with who the meh-SHEE-kah people are, those are the Aztecs. Their tradition is that the world is based on cycles. So eventually, like, the world is reborn. And there's a little bit more lore in there. One of the things I really like is the attention to detail that Mr. Baron, which I hope I'm pronouncing right, put into creating this world. But here's our buddy. Your friend from the village says, you want to see what this is about? Let's go together. And we're not going to try to examine our friend here. We're going to actually interact because this person will always give us a jade ring. Now, you can get cursed items early on, but this ring is always going to be a luck ring. It was actually a ++ luck ring, so we're up to 9.7 luck now, which if you want to see other stats, you can press tab for your character sheet. It says spreadsheet here, but I promise it's a character sheet. So, going in here. The other nice thing that people don't realize is that you can rob people blind. Like if we want to take these hallucinogenic mushrooms, we're not going to go tripping today. We can. This actually has some food. This is a pretty good treasure chest for doing a few things with. Like this dress. This dress is tier 1 armor. We're wearing tier 3 armor +1, which is cotton armor. If we get some bone armor, we may want to change into it based on the temperature. Cotton armor is good if the temperature is below freezing, so it's a little more insulated. It's still hard leather, but bone armor is better for where it's hotter. And we're going to be in the hotter areas right now, but the Tomatli dress here, we can actually tear it apart for more bandages, and that actually gave us 5 bandages. We also have fried chapolin, which, if we look at this, a tasty and durable meal of fried grasshoppers. Delish. And more importantly, durable, so we can actually eat it. Because other food that you find in the game in the wild will actually kind of rot, and that's a little annoying. Now, here's a canteen. There is a pot there that we can't get to, but we can break the pot, Link style. Whoops. Nobody's going to attack us. There's just a little child jumping up and down there. So there's more cotton armor. We cannot, as far as I know, tear up cotton armor. But one of the things I'm going to try to do, just to make sure I do a better job with it, because I've done pretty bad with this in my playthroughs off camera trying to learn this, is use some of these consumable items, like a piece from the fallen sky. Night shard, that will actually do something for us. And by the way, you're going to see me clicking the menu here. You can use the keyboard, like if I want to look at this scroll down here. We can try to examine it by pressing X. This is, if you've played Nethack, a sort of similar thing where you have gibberish on the scroll. There is an identification ability. We could just use the scroll to see what it says. But right now we don't really have anything. There's also a temple here. an altar to Quetzalcoatl, who probably most of you are familiar with, because that is one of the deities that make it into a lot of Final Fantasy and JRPG games. We can press P to pray if we go on there. Then there's all these items down here. I really like how the developer lets you play with the mouse if you want to, but you don't have to. But nothing happens when we pray to Quetzalcoatl. We did get a nice gong sound, though. So I guess that's for the winners or losers. But yeah, one of the first things you can do is try to examine all of these pots from towns. Now, Atlatl Spear, probably good, and Atlatl Spear Thrower. That is a weapon that is pretty useful here. I just want to look at the summary of it real quick. And you are going to see me jumping in and out of inventory around here. It requires the throwable weapon skill, which I have 1 rank in. So technically, if things go to hell, I can use it. And then we have stun spores, which do exactly what they sound like, a bag containing spores that generate stunning gas when thrown. So those are all good things here. Here's an altar to Piltzinotchukli, which I did not look here. Oh, look! You pray, and cotton armor +5 shines with bright light, and you feel like you have pretended its secrets. So, we got blessing on our armor. I don't know if it's temporary or not, but still, that may be what we need to survive early. Okay, so our dog's running around. They don't have any livestock in there. We have another person here, and be careful with the bite of the Quetzalcoatl. They're quite slow, though. Those are snakes, so don't get bit by a snake. Here's fire seeds, which will set people on fire. Here is a shield. I will take both of those, because as we're playing as a warrior, we do have to worry about gear durability. And if there's a way to actually like reforge and refresh your durability, I haven't figured it out yet. Bandages are good. Herb plasters will help you heal from injuries. I did press the wrong button there. How many spears do we have? This might be enough, but let's take a little more. 74 spears. Okay, so Night Shard, Loincloth, Night Seeds. I'm not going to take the Sling, although the Sling could potentially let us throw these. Now, here is a magical Chimali shield, or Kimali shield. The thing is that I don't know if it's cursed or blessed. I don't have anything to identify it. Right now, I'm using my torch, so I'm not going to have a shield slot available. What do you have to say? Is this the end of the 5th sun? Yeah, probably. So we have more prayers. Nothing happens. We already got 1 blessing. Probably won't get any more there. So, hi, Turkey Lurkey. And then we're back into here. It's hot inside, but they have bread. It's really nice. Oh, frost dart. Frost darts. You have 2 of these. It freezes the target, but I have to actually hit them, which is a little bit of a problem. But see, this is what we're going to be doing kind of in this game and in the series, is trying to play deliberately and correctly. That blouse we can tear for more bandages. We have a brass necklace. Now we're going to take a risk here and equip the brass necklace. But see, we look at I do have cotton pants equipped already. I do have a backup for cotton pants. Okay, so cotton armors, there's the +5 durability. So let's go ahead and wear this. And we'll keep this cotton armor as a backup. So I'm glad I spotted that, because fortunately, as this inventory doesn't have an auto sort or anything, you kind of have to look sometimes, so don't be too mad if I have problems here. I'm trying to identify it. I don't have an artifact skill. I'm not even certain that the warrior class can learn the artifact skill. Fortunately, I'm more resistant to fire now. So you see I have +15 fire resistance on my character sheet. These starter items can be cursed as well. Honestly, I've had some really bad luck with getting cursed weapons early on, and then much like other games with similar curses, like we have an obsidian dagger here. I'm not going to equip it first because I really don't want to end up getting a cursed weapon that I can't take off on the first video here, but yeah. There we go. So we have successfully raided the town. Congratulations. And we are on turn 225. And we'll look at our morgue data later on. But this is around the time where the rubber hits the road and we have to start fighting things. Now, you're going to see that I'm going to be approaching this, like I said, a little more methodically. We do have one of those happy little snakes here. And we have a wolf. And my companion is going to try to attack this wolf. And I don't get experience for that, and I really do want the experience. Nice! So we have here, and I love the text descriptions for this. You hit the Kasatli with a short sword. The savage slash amputates the left front paw. That's why we did so much damage. So critical hits, very important. So here's Snake Buddy. And Snake is trying to attack our friend as well. But once again, you overcome the Kukikatl and score some heavy blows. So we kill it. We do have the ability to chop the corpse. Some of these corpses will give you meat, which is nice. I'm going to force that person to move to me. You can't, when you press 5 on the number pad, it goes into a resting state. You do need to push period to have the other thing go. Oh god, it's a raccoon. We have a good relationship with the raccoon here from the last video. But I could kick it or I could just slap it because it did steal from me. We're both attacking it. These guys will steal your food. We don't want that. But you can see every time I attack, my stamina bar goes down. This guy isn't really attacking me back, but a firm strike cuts muscles and tendons through the Napachitzin's right foreleg. So this game is a little violent. I don't know what he stole from me. I took he stole my little grasshopper cake from me. That jerk. But my experience bar is going up pretty well. My bread rots, which is unfortunate. So one of the things is that some of this food will not stay. And there's... Oh, okay, we had a snake over here. Let's wait and see if the snake sees us, because right now there's no wind available. And it is nighttime, even though you can't tell, because if we turn out our torch, there's no light because the sun's gone. Okay, you're going to fight this guy first. And look at this. Is mercilessly punctured on a vital zone. So we do have... Okay, I don't want you getting beat down by this. I want to beat this down. Okay, we got hit for 1. We got bit. That's not great, but... Okay, now I did hit that a little bit too fast because we did in fact make it bleed and killed it. Let me go ahead and eat one of these just so I can be satiated, and I got an achievement for eating grasshoppers, so we know that's good. I actually chopped them up for 2 meat steaks, so that's even better. One thing that I was feeling a little silly when I was playing late at night on this before, but one thing you definitely want to do is just take some turns to go ahead and we'll take these spears as well, but you want to take some turns to make sure your stamina is good, because you never know. It's like any other roguelike. Things can be going great. You could be off to a great start. There's the dude that's sleeping, by the way. That's why it has a little Z up there. Things could be going great, and then all of a sudden, you get destroyed by something that's just around the corner. Because as you can see, our line of sight is not big at all. But hopefully, I can get a good attack in, because I did manage, despite holding a torch, to sneak up on this thing while it's sleeping. So, free experience, 45 damage. A firm blow smashes the Kasatli's right upper hind leg. Disgusting. But look up there, we have a little kitty cat coming this way. Tlasolotl, or an ocelot. That's what I'll be calling it throughout here. So it's going to be coming to us. These guys are pretty quick. There's 2 of them. Now here's another thing that you want to try and do, and something I still need to pay more attention and do a better job with. Funneling enemies here. They can move just as diagonally as you can. So I want to try to make it so that the ocelots have to get funneled through the environment. So you see right there, that guy moved to the left, took 24 damage as a blow cuts deeply into the ocelot's chest. That's nice. We have another one, squish, and now we're surrounded by 2 deer. We do not attack the deer. Saw last video, if you attack the deer, it just brings bad luck. Now that's not always the case, but it's just superstition in my mind, so we're not going to attack the deer. But you see this ocelot right here? It's having some trouble here. I hit it with the sword, a swift slash hits and confuses it. It's actually bleeding. That's what those little marks mean there. So if I just wait 1 turn, it's dead. Now my buddy hit it anyway, so that's fine. And if we go choppy chop, I guess we're going to be overpopulating this forest with deer because we're taking out all the predators. That's fine. One thing that I am on the lookout for is water areas, because I did get some swimming skills for this exact purpose. And if you look on the right hand here, this area is a corridor at first. There are definite edges to the map, but we're looking for water, which this is water. Oop, not that button. This is water right here. Greenish water. We could potentially quaff it and maybe make ourselves sick. But the more important thing with that water is that there will be water lilies in there. Like, you can see the water's glowing a little bit over there. And see, I walked into the darkness, and we immediately got attacked. So, gonna try to strike back here. It breaks one of the Castellati's ribs, as we see the stuff down here. And it's stunned, which is what that marker means. That means that dude can't attack us. Now, we have injuries just like the opponents have injuries, which if you've seen anybody play this, you know that the injury system is very robust as the slash cuts through the Castellati's abdomen. So we're having a good time here. But yeah, those injuries can really like injure Run in a hurry. So before I drop into the water here is where, look, see, your friend from the village lost the grip and becomes briefly stunned while trying to hold his weapon properly. So this is why we wait a little bit and play a little bit more methodically. We're going to save our friend. We're going to slap this guy around. And it's all good. Now we do have what's here. This is a water or green lilies. There are different kinds of lilies. What's pretty important about them is that first off, we have the wind going up here now. That means that any animals that can smell, and this forest is mostly animals, there's some skeletons and stuff too. Hopefully we'll be able to deal with that. They'll be able to smell us from up here. But everybody can see us with this bright beacon of a torch, including any conquistadors, which can spawn in the first area. But what we can do is swim, and yes, you do. Unless you have a good swimming skill, you will take damage every time you swim here. Is what we're going to do, and there's more water up here, so there's more potential, is we're going to go ahead, and we are going to unwield this torch. And we're going to unwield this. As you can see, our durability is already dropping a bit, and we don't have many other options. But we're going to equip our meh-SHEE-kah, and it's going to be a good time because it's a two-handed sword. You get a two-handed sword. You get a two-handed sword to the face. But we can't see. Oh, no. What we can do, fortunately for us, is eat the green lily. These will rot in your inventory if you don't eat them. But magic light! So good. So here comes the snake. We're going to take one step to the snake. Fortunately, it took a step to us. And we're just going to beat down. 38 damage. Nice. You destroy the Quetzalcoatl after several blows. So we attacked it hard. Now the thing is that these lilies don't last forever. So we're going to kind of be on a hunt for more of them. And we're going to see how long... Oh, your friend doesn't want to exchange places because your friend doesn't like swimming. But what we're going to do is try to see if we can run through a lot of this area with the two-hander. I could technically be going sword and board here if I wanted to. But you see my light profile is not as big. I cannot see as far. So there's 9 spears. I have 128, so those all stack up on one bit of inventory. I wasn't exactly sure about that. And we now see, oh, here's our first skeleton. This is what ended our run both times before. So we're going to take this a little more carefully. And I'm kind of caught out of position because I don't know what's north of me. And we know our friend's nearby. So let's see if the skeleton notices us. I could potentially hide, maybe. I'm not sure if I have the skill. We're going to take the spears because that's just as well as hiding. Maybe. Oh, we're in the examine mode. So... Okay, our friend is the Zizami. Okay, our friend's gonna die here if we don't help right now, so let's go ahead and just beat down from the other side. There we go. So 32 damage. A firm strike slashes the skeleton's left forearm. I don't know how the skeleton's bleeding, but it is bleeding. So I guess we hit it that hard, it's like dripping marrow out. I'm not sure exactly how that works, and level up. Revenge against all of our losses here before. So one of the things that's really nice about this is that you can level up as things go pretty well. We are going to level up our throwable weapon skill as well. And the reason for that is so that way I have a backup plan. But you see, if I try to get more levels, it's going to cost a little more stuff. I do want some endurance. I definitely want some tactics, which does take int, which is... it takes ITN, not INT, so that's intuition instead of intelligence, which my intuition isn't awesome, but it went up a little bit here. Our 1 in swimming skill's fine. I don't really use perception very much. Foraging, dodging, detect hidden, reading, detect traps. I mean, my intelligence is okay. I think reading might be a good skill, but the problem is that I don't have a ton of skill points left, and I'd really like to up my level on 1 and 2 handers here, so We're not really in a position where we need to do this, but if you want to unlock, or need to read these scrolls yet, but if you want to unlock the healer class, all you do is heal somebody else. And you saw there she was bleeding, so we don't want to have her bleed out. Alright, so what's next? We have a bow over here. And you see what I'm doing here? I'm kind of crisscrossing across the map. There's a skeleton, so something died here. We don't know what. So there's our friend from the village. And there's some water here. It's a little risky to go this way. Oh, I think we already have been this way. Let's just see if we can go south across the water here. This lily's gonna rot soon. Maybe not quite yet, but I'm gonna go ahead and eat another one here. So now we're emitting blue lights. And there's another lily right there. So we're gonna try to work our way to it. Livid liquid. I don't know if I'd trust drinking a livid liquid, but we'll take it. There is a liquid identification skill that I have not used. It is its own separate skill. It's not perception or anything. Now, I could shout at my friend to stop following me, and that might be the right move because she's kind of injured. But before I jump into the water here, one of the ways I have gotten myself killed a few times is by not properly exploring around the perimeter of the water before jumping in. So, look, there's another lily up there. We can tell because the water's glowing. Look, she jumped in the water that time. So we got a green lily. We got a few more turns of exploration in. So we're going to kind of do the same thing here. So we have our friend from the village that we can heal again. It looks like we have another. We have a pretty good run of lilies here, in fact. And now, see, this is what I wanted to avoid. I don't want to take fights in the water. So, our friend, I'm not sure how she's doing, but she's going to have to fend for herself for a minute. So, 52 damage to that guy. So, a heartless blow ravages the ocelot's backbone. Stumbles and... Okay, you hit the Napachitsin with the long sword. That's fine. Where's our butt? Oh, shit, she's about to die. All right. She's not dead yet, though. A strong attack smacks the chest. Oh, God. She's being way too aggressive. That's the thing. I'm going to assume it's a she. It might be a he. But we're going to try to actually save the AI from itself. Because having friends is what this game is all about. Is the world really worth saving if we're constantly under attack? I'm going to actually bandage a third time. Because there's another skeleton that you are just charging right for. Alright. So you're focused on there. You already took 17 damage. A savage blow cuts through my friend and the left arm. So she is stunned, bleeding, and probably not going to be long for this world. I tried. So she's taking bleeding damage. Now I hit the side and makes the lesser skeleton stagger. So you can see it's bleeding again. So it's going to take damage per turn. And oh no. Alright. Okay, good. I thought that was my friend that died. So we did 60 damage. Let's save our friend from bleeding out again. Like I said, I don't know necessarily the utility of trying to keep doing this. Let's get my Scooby snacks back. The cricket snacks. Sometimes these guys will drop a weapon, but we don't have anything here. We can't chop up the corpse because it's a skeleton. But we do have some stuff over here. More lilies are good. There's nothing else we can take, so let's get out of the water for a second. I probably need to be very careful. And, let's see. I got a few things I can do. Let's go ahead and eat this. We're still satiated, or if we weren't before, we are now. Let's go ahead and eat the green lily, because we're going to be picking up 2 of these. Like I said, these have a shelf life once you go through them. Alright, and we're not going to use the rest button, because I know these guys like to come by when you start to rest, and I'd rather be aggressive. So he steals from me, but he's bleeding, so he's dead. What did you take from me? You took 3 night shards. What a jerk. And look, there's another sword up there, so we definitely want to do that. But we're going to try to be smart again and not just run blindly into attacks here. So we gave the snake a brutal back cut. There's a liquid that we're not taking. There's another snake. We took 3 bandages, and we smacked the snake in the face with a 2-handed sword. A fast meek slash makes the snake waver, and we got him, so that's good. And we have 2 more enemies up here that my buddy's just going to try to run into. So 3 enemies. This is how we get ourselves surrounded. That's not great. There's an axe up there as well. So may I ask you a question? You're trying to run away, so I can deal with that. Uh-oh. That's a problem. We have a Pedro el Naufrago, a Spaniard male. Now, he has some gear that might be really good for us, but unfortunately, he's also far more advanced at combat than anybody else that's here right now and has the jump on my buddy. So I'm going to wait here because I really need to keep my endurance up. And my buddy died. RIP. So it's here. Your friend from the village trips and needs to regain his balance. Pedro, the Spaniard male, hits your friend from the village with a stone sword and dies. My friend dies. That sucks. Now, what you can do to avoid that is actually shout at your friend and make him wait from earlier. But let's hear. You're supposed to die from bleeding, so you're going to die in just a minute. You're here now. I could try to enrage, but I'm just going to attack. 30 damage, so you died from bleeding, and you can see it tries to bite but fails. The Spaniard male hits you with the sword and fails, where I hit him with the sword, so I did 30 damage. We're going to just try to see if we can brute force with the 2-hander, and wow, here we go. Brutal attack slices Pedro, the Spaniard's male's abdomen by his side. So he's dead. Dead. So, no, I don't, and he's actually stunned. The nice thing about the stun status, which is a little hard to see right here, is that you actually can't attack. So I can safely move aggressively to attack the raccoon. But fortunately here, I got a level up, and for some reason, I lost a little bit of luck. Well, that sucks, but we're going to take some 1- and 2-hand sword levels for sure. We're going to take a throwable weapon for sure, because we're not using throwables yet, but we're going to want to later. I think my endurance is okay. I need to upgrade my first aid skill. I need to upgrade my light armor skill. Let's see, 10 points left. Swimming is fine. I didn't take anything in Berserk, so that's why I can't do it. Physical resilience, I really probably need that. 6 points left. I could be trying to dual wield. I can't do reading anymore. You know what? Let's take hiding, because if I can successfully hide, that'll unlock a class. But it looks like he actually dropped a shield, so let's clean up the vermin first. What did you steal from us? 3 night shards again. Notice we're not having to use the night shards at this point. But what do we have here? We have a buckler available. So we take the buckler. If we inspect the buckler, you can see a small shield that has a central handle behind the boss and is gripped in the fist. It is made of wood and metal round boss. It's quite new. It doesn't appear to be magical, but it is probably an upgrade over these shields. So I am, in fact, going to drop one of these shields. I'll drop the one with no endurance. Now, one of the important things here is that we have a long sword and a skeleton. And it doesn't appear to be enchanted. But it is a backup here, because if you're not careful, you can run through... what do you call it? You can run through you can run through weapon durability in a hurry. But I am about to lose probably my Night Lily Glow, so we have 2 here, and we have a snake. Is this snake going to swim towards us? Probably, maybe not. Let's go from down here. Once again, we want to avoid taking water damage if at all possible. There's nothing else we can take. That's a little awkward. There's some things I can get rid of. I just can't drop it on this location, so let's get out of the water here real quick. Like, for instance, we have a wooden club. That's a pretty good backup plan. We're probably not going to be using the bow ever, because my ranged attack plan is the spear. So let's go ahead, and we do slowly heal. But it may be a little bit of a waste to take both of those all at once. This is really risky business, swimming where I don't know what's coming. And we have a raccoon that's trying to steal from us, and he's now bleeding. And you actually took the lily from us, so that's fun. Let's get our endurance back up again. Take this thing again. So we've been able to go pretty good ways with just the two-handed sword. That's nice. So you may see me bouncing around here. I know there's a snake. And you see that we went from being drenched, now we're just wet. That does make us more vulnerable to lightning damage. Unfortunately, we snuck up on an ocelot. Let's say hello to it with our club. Oh, we missed! What? Something crosses your mind and you lose concentration? Is literally asleep. Oh, roguelikes. Okay, so we cut through it this time. Do we have anything we want to drop? We actually have possibly enchanted bone armor. I could probably ditch the arrows as well. So, we see this corpse, and we're getting some creepy sounds, because nothing says creepy quite like wandering in the dark. But this is why we get the second stuff here. Our green lily we need to use faster. Our purple lily might actually rot. I'm going to try to avoid that. But that's why I've been taking the one-handed skills as well, is so that I have backup plans. I don't know if that's the best move, but it's not like there's any guides out for this game. Maybe I'll make one eventually, but we now see a snake. I'm going to wait once to see if the snake comes to us. There we go. And the reason it took a little while longer is that we have a quickness of 10. So we're apparently faster than that thing, and it received a savage front slash. So we killed it. That's fun. Alright, there is another lily there. So since we're about to pick up another lily, we're going to try to chain these a little bit. Let's actually explore for just a minute. And I may be going too aggressive with my attempts to conserve actually losing things from eating them, but it also frees up our inventory. So that's fine. Why is this clean water? I don't think it's very clean, probably. It's just greenish water. It just looks different because we have... Oh, we got a lot of buddies here. Okay. Hello? Smackety smack. It steals from me. I mishandle and cannot attack. What really sucks sometimes is that I drop my weapon. So this is a pile of items. Just a pile. Do we have a snake that's going to come over here too? No, but we have a kitty. Hello, kitty. We'll wait a second. And smack. So we hit it on the back, and then we hit it again. Alright, so our endurance is doing okay. That's fine. So we get a blue lily, purple lily, a little bit of swimming damage, 3 night shards, which fortunately we have not had to use yet. Pretty sure I can avoid that water. Alright, so we're walking into unexplored territory again. So we're just really going to take our time. So you get to steal from me really fast. Okay. Blue lilies. We have more water lilies down here. So that's one reason we're kind of trying to stay close to the water here if we can. Because once again, these things will rot. So I'm not gonna take these yet. Maybe I can always come back and restock because they should persist on the land. But one of the issues is that they're both in my inventory around the same time. So what's going to end up happening is that they will both rot out of my inventory at the same time. So I have a feeling, yeah, we see a little puppy. Does the puppy see us? No, the puppy's sleeping. And there's the snake that's sleeping. So this attack should wake up the snake, but hopefully it kills the dog. Sorry. We pet the dog with our giant two-handed sword. And we pet the snake with our giant two-handed sword. I'm going to eat the blue lily just out of an abundance of caution. Because I like being able to beat things down with the two-hander. Okay, I didn't mean to go into this water, but we'll take it. Kind of exploring back. But you can see I'm crisscrossing across the map really hard. Like, I rounded a corner and accidentally ran into an ocelot. But we brutal slash heavily damages the ocelot's right lower hind leg. So that's fine. But once again, just playing it patient and just slapping things around ends up letting us do a lot more damage. Like right now, this whole forest area, I shouldn't have died in my quick play. I usually don't die here unless I'm really trying to like learn a new class or something. But the warrior and any of these melee classes are fairly straightforward. I saw what? I saw it somewhere. There it is. Okay. And now it's dead. And there's more bandages on the ground, but let's eat an ocelot first. So you can see here, this is how roguelikes work. It starts slow, but you get a little bit of momentum, and things can start to work out. Like we have a sword here. We have a few lilies available. I don't really know which lily is going to be the problem here, but we're going to... oh, accident. Ooh, what button did I hit there? We have a bonus short sword. A capital J. So we have 2 backup swords now. That's nice. We have a spear thrower and a torch. We probably want a backup torch. So I think I'm going to drop the polearm. Like, polearms are fine, but torches are a little more useful. I don't know why I'm pushing X to do that. Alright. And look at that. We're through the first area. And at level 3 is kind of where I want to be. I'm going to eat this purple lily just so I don't lose it. But let's go ahead. Let's go to the next area. I think I've explored most of what I want to explore. There's not really going to be any more items. I'm doing a lot better with my item management. So we're just going to do this, and it does autosave, and now we are at Chapultepec, or Chapultepec. And this is the land of lots of new things here. You hear a Tecattle's hoot. You will learn to love owls in this game. So we have a raccoon that's going to try to attack us. And we got to beat it twice. But the owls are interesting here because they are neutral. They will not attack you, but they will hoot and stun you. So I have a kill all the owls policy. I don't even really feel bad about it because I've had too many runs ended by getting stunned by owls. Now that is something you can use to your advantage if you can get your enemies in position, but owls tend to come in packs. So here is a viper. Probably a little more familiar with that. You can see it has its nice tongue and head floating from the front. And I love the sprite work in this game. It's very minimalist, but it has a lot of character. And that is a Crotalus. Viper receives a savage front slash, so we killed the Viper. Hooray! And I just ran into something else without seeing it. I just killed a puppy without seeing it. But we are, we're at a point now where we actually have some really good momentum. We are just slapping things around. And we have an owl to the left. We have another ocelot to the left. Okay. So, see, this is a problem. Because we could potentially get stunned if this owl hoots, and it will hoot. Fortunately, I hooted it in the face first. So 2 meat steaks and a skeleton, that's fine. And look, bees! Literally a swarm of bees. Now, this is one reason I got rid of the polearm and stuff, is because this swarm of bees actually has pretty high piercing damage resistance. Our weapon's a slashing weapon, which does regular damage, I believe. And this is only going from what I heard the developers say. It's not... I don't know how to access things here, see if this weapon actually does blunt damage as well, but a moderate slash stuns the bee swarm. So how do you stun bees? Apparently by just swatting at them. I'm making a hand motion, and I don't have the camera on. If you've been watching me for this long, and thank you for sticking with this video, because like I said, this is a good starter demo run, kind of proof of concept of what this game can look like. If you want to see me, because this game is pretty low resources, obviously, play this with a webcam, by all means, let me know. Please don't steal. You're going to bleed out anyway, but let's just save. Oh, you didn't bleed out. Well, you took 67 damage because we severed your front right paw. And you actually took a steak from me, jerk. 2 meat steaks. Are there any other kinds? I guess there's grasshopper steaks. We're going to take this. And save our stamina again. We're going to take our time because there are some serious threats around here pretty soon. And I'd love to get another level. I'm pretty close. Alright. I don't think there's going to be too many enemies over here, though. There's no wind, but I've been making a lot of noise beating the crap out of enemies. So we're pretty close to a level. There's a bow I don't need. Let's go ahead and eat a green lily. Just so that, well, how many lilies do I have right now? Do I risk the biscuit? Or I think I actually had one rot on me. So that sucks, but let's go ahead and eat this. And I'm not getting thirsty yet, which is really exciting. I don't really have a lot that I want to get rid of right now. It'd be nice if one of these scrolls was an identification scroll. I guess I can drop this just so we know, like, just so we have some inventory room if it comes down to it. So blue lily's next. And we have another lily over here. Like I said, we've been able to go around with, oh, we got a bag of spores. Thank you. Haven't needed to bust those out yet. And we got a scroll of something. Scroll of Uamatin. Now, I don't think I picked up a reading skill yet. No. So this would be a good time to at least try to get some reading skills. Get our knowledge on. But being able to run around with the two-hander certainly makes things a little bit easier. But if there is one thing to know about any roguelike, but especially Dawn of the Meh-SHEE-kah, or Mexica, but it is meh-SHEE-kah, is that you never want to get complacent. Things can go really bad with just one critical hit. So you have to run this game like death is literally around the corner. And I say that because we have some bricks here. Worn out stone wall. This is going to go to an area that has a lot of enemies on these platforms. And those enemies can be archers. So I'm actually going to try to get this guy back a little bit because I don't want somebody up here having line of sight and height advantage if that's a thing over me. Let's see, we have more enemies here. We can't see around the corner, but oh my god, a merciless blow destroys the ocelotl's eyes. She is now blind and dead. So there's our level that we wanted. So definitely skills for both. You know what? Let's take one more skill in the two-handed blade just to make those level 8 and level 8. We're going to do another throwable weapon here. And we're going to do another light armor. And I do think this is the time to take reading. And the time to take liquid identification. Because we got a lot of stuff in our inventory that I need to examine here. So let's examine. We failed. Let's try to examine. And you can right click to do that. So you identify your scroll of identify with your reading skill. Which is great because now we can start to identify some of this stuff here. So we have cotton armor +5. I'd like to see what this obsidian dagger is. Let's see if we can examine this first. Okay, we got an owl coming. So is this owl going to actually attack us? No, it's just going to swim by. But we also have bees. So let's step away from the bees and then hit the owl this way. It's stunned. You know what? Let's just do the sure thing here. Let's throw fire seeds on the owl and set it on fire. There we go. So that increases our visibility, which is great. Plus the owl's going to take burning damage, which is great. And see, there's our first tries to hoot to stun us. Because I guess it's hooting. It's like, ooh, I'm on fire. And it died. So now that fire is like a beacon for anything that wants to see us. But a heartless blow ravages the backbone. Let's see here. Do I actually have a nickname here at this point? We are Meatly the Journeyman Swordsman. So we're just merciless all the time. But I could identify the shield. I could identify the dagger. I actually have some pretty good armor already. So in case I need... Maybe I hold on to that identify scroll right now. I'm going to need to watch the durability here. That's one reason. It's worn out. I don't know if that gives me a penalty just yet. Maybe one day I'll learn. So we have corpses everywhere. That fires out. And from the looks of it, we should be able to wait here. And with terrifying hoot stuns the ocelot. So that worked out for us. I am going to go ahead and eat the blue lily. Hopefully this doesn't screw me. Because right now, light's an issue. Whoa! 183 damage, a brutal blow wrecks the ocelot's skull. Okay, double owl. This is double trouble. Okay, 1. A lucky strike slashes the Tesottle's right patagim. It's actually an English word. I should know what that means. So we broke its ribs, then we broke its face. And look, we have stairs so that we can actually go down if we elected to. We have a frosty liquid. I meant to actually identify these liquids. We're sure as hell not doing it this far exposed, though. So 7 bandages is good. 7 bandages is good. I am going to skip the downstairs area right now because I kind of want to explore up here a little bit. Technically, where we're required to go is past here. And I don't have my dog, which sucks a little bit. That owl's bleeding. It tries to peck me and it fails, and it bleeds to death, so that's nice, I guess. So there's a puppy. Does it see us? Yes. So let's... Oh, gosh. We're actually getting ourselves in a pincer attack here, so... Not great, but I killed you, so that's nice. And notice our quickness has gone up a little bit, so... The raccoon or the Napachitsin stumbles, and you amputate one of its hind legs. And Savage Blow cuts through the skull. And there's bees. And there's a snake. So see, like I said, I got myself in trouble here, but that's fine. We brutally cut an important zone on it. What kind of zone? I don't know. And it looks like there's a pot right here. I'm actually not familiar with what that is. A grass gourd and a Zika-lotl. So we got an enemy there as well. So let's attack. And you see a corpse, a corpse, a corpse, a corpse, a corpse. Yeah, we're doing okay. Like I said, it just takes one mistake to end it, though. So we are not going to get overconfident here for a second. We have a short sword available. I kind of want to drop the cotton armor here, but we can't drop it here. Because we are going to have to look out for our weapons soon. So, oh my god, we summoned all the owls. And now we're stunned. We're stunned for 1.2 turns. We got a weird head statue over here. Alright, so... The nice thing is that you can move while stunned. You just can't attack while stunned. So we got some angry owls. Can I hide from the owls? You try to hide but fail. Try to hide but fail. Try to hide but fail. Well, what's that hide skill for? Okay, we're stunned. We did that to ourselves. And we're stunned for 2.5 turns, so let's see if we can get away from those owls. Stunned for 3.3 turns. Wow. We pissed off that owl. Okay, so looks like you got stunned too along the way. So now you're dead. Nope. Welcome to the Forest of Stun. Everything stuns you. So, like I said, what I'm always trying to do is to give myself a pace to go back from. Like, we have this whole area that's dark, which is not the most exciting thing. We stunned bees, though, so that's pretty good. We have more bees, so that's also nice. Would like to find another two-hander if at all possible. But we are, we're actually about to have to switch back to our one-hander. This obsidian dagger requires one weapon skill. Let me go ahead and see if I can identify it. Uh-oh, you totally make up the words and the spell fizzles. Try that again. Read. You bite your tongue and say gibberish, you'll need to read it again. You mispronounce the words, have to read it again. You read the words, but nothing happens. A decorated obsidian dagger shines with bright light, and you feel you have permeated its secrets. So that's plus 13 on the attack. That's probably better than anything else I have. But we are going to go ahead and drop this. And we're going to go ahead and equip our other two-hander, because we've been doing some really good damage so far. But if we need to go in a defensive position, we do have a plus 13 sacrificial dagger. And, okay, we're thirsty now. So let's see if we can get to a safe spot here. Let's start examining the liquids. You try but fail. This is also frosty liquid. You try and fail. Lilac liquid. Try and fail. Livid liquid. Try and fail. Let's drink the frosty liquid since we have two of it. Quaff. It's Berserk Liquid and you drink it. So we're still thirsty and now we're Berserk. When we're Berserk, we can't open our inventory. What else happens with Berserk? I don't know. Does the game say anything about Berserk's status? Probably not. Berserk. The Berserk skill allows you to become Berserk. When Berserk, you have a bonus melee attack and damage reduction. However, hunger and thirst increase much faster. So, we just drank a liquid of making ourselves really thirsty. So, I don't think we need that sword. I can't open my inventory anyway. So, die kitty die, I guess. There we go. So hopefully I don't die of thirst. Okay, good. We do have an empty canteen. Let's drink the livid liquid. Okay, so it's night liquid as you drink it. What does night liquid do? I don't know. Maybe it makes me pee at night. Let's see. We have a serpent up here that's asleep. Like I said, I'm just very concerned that there is going to be a human that's going to wreck me. Okay, we see a bee swarm. I'm not sure where the bee swarm is, but we see it. Greenish water. Let's quaff it. It tastes bad, but it gets rid of our thirst. Let's go ahead and refill here. If we go back to our hometown, there is clean water to drink there. So there's something to be said about just turning around and making it so that you get your you dump out your first water that you get, and then you turn it into a good drinkable water. That's 253 damage. That's a new record. The Cartalis Viper brutally cut in a vital zone yet again. And we're stunned. Fortunately, so is the dog. Let's get out of this area because we're about to be surrounded by a lot of enemies. Let's see. They're going to be following us all over here anyway, so bad kitty. There we go. See a bee swarm. We see bee swarms. So it's all about positioning. We want to get away from that owl, though. Make the owl stun them like it got stunned. Now I'm stunned because we're in owl town. 6 turns of stun. 5, 4. Okay. I don't know why the bees aren't getting stunned. Alright, let's see if we can set the bees on fire. We set the bees on fire! Let's get out of here. Okay, we did not set the bees on fire. We maybe set an owl on fire and succeeded at pissing it off, though. Okay, are the bees going to chase us? Not really. Okay. So this light's been lasting a while. I was hoping to find another lily. We do have the bees that we attacked before up here, so let's go ahead and take them out. And there should be some more water available here at one of these spots. What are you? 4 fire seeds. Yeah, that's fine. And down here is stuff we've already killed and our owl buddies. We did see a puppy here. So let's do 40 damage to it. Nice. Alright, so another polearm. We don't really need it. I'm not sure exactly what these statues do, if they do anything. Toltec head just kind of makes me think of Spelunky, and like there should be a secret associated with them, but I don't know what. So we do have some mushrooms up here. I probably don't need them, because I certainly don't want to trip out right now. Alright, so it's 17 degrees with a drizzle. Alright, and we do have our happy little two-hander here. Wow, you actually got in that bite. Nice. What are you? You're arrows, aren't you? Yeah, we don't need arrows. Now see a bee swarm. Like I said, it could be that we end up getting attacked pretty soon, or we end up having to, oh gosh. I'm gonna get surrounded here really hard. Okay, let's try to avoid getting attacked in too many different directions. Okay. Okay, look. This is the exact bad news that can happen sometimes. Fire seeds again. Set you on fire. See if we can take you out. And then what did you drop? Pile of items. Okay. Okay, so we got the little hoot hoots going on again. Nothing here to get. So we have more psychedelic mushrooms. We have another viper that we can just cut up. Get rid of that owl. Hoot, 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 hoot. Okay. Revenge of the owls. 2.5, 1.5. Okay. Let's not... We don't want to run into places we don't know. So, can we get away from that owl? Can we hide? Can't hide while stunned. Wow, we are terrible at hiding. Okay. Time to recover some stamina. Okay, this little light has lasted a while. Of course, it could be the night liquid that we drinked. Okay, I see something promising on the mini-map here, but I don't know if it promises anything good or not. We do have some more night lilies, though. We have a shit ton of enemies around them. Okay, let's get out of this way. And we'll just see if we can funnel you one at a time. Uh-oh. Somebody's coming up there because we have a light source. Okay, bad news. This is a cultist. This cultist has gotten the drop on us. He's carrying a torch. Usually where there's one cultist, there's more cultists. These guys will use spells and otherwise make things pretty bad. So since that guy's stunned, we're going to see if we can get you a little closer. So we're now officially surrounded. Hopefully these do not throw in my face. But here's a cultist, and we did throw the stun spores on him, but I think I got myself as well. We'll see. I'm stunned. Well, that's sure better than the alternative. Okay, maybe not. Okay, I'm stunned for 14 turns. Well, you know, this is a way to go. I've done really well so far. But we see the mistake that we made. That's my first time ever in this game throwing stun spores. And what we've learned is that it will make a cloud of stun spores, but we don't want to put ourselves in a corner, or specifically a hallway where we're being surrounded by people. So I got the cultist killed, which is great. But through my own mistakes again, I'm not even going to make it to level 5. I'm stunned for 18 turns. I'm bleeding like hell. My neck's wounded. My face is wounded. And we're getting killed by snakes here. A blow cuts and destroys your right thigh. So, that was a really good run. It wasn't a very far run, but it was a good run. And you know what? I will happily take that at this point. So let's go ahead. We're going to hit space here just because we want to look at the morgue data. And you can see here is that my turn count is in the red. But my experience count, that was a new record for experience. So if I can just have a run where my experience goes that well, because I did off myself that time. But that's something where, you know, you play the game, and that's the fun thing about roguelikes. You play, you learn, but if we do press A here, one feature I didn't realize was here, is that we have a little text document that says kind of some key points, key things here. Just like our skills, our stat bonuses. Like we had level 8, so that's a slight stat bonus. Creatures killed. We actually managed to kill one cultist. But we ended up getting offed by ourselves. Items. +1 bonus for faith when you equip it, as the brass necklace also gives you 15 fire resistance, gives you +3 bonus to luck. And I never got to use that jade dagger, but you see we have our little summaries here, like killed these things for the first time. But I'm pleased with how that went. But I think the next run I do for this, I'm gonna in fact do a caster run just to kind of show you the different ways that I can go. But this is Asher. This is Dawn of the meh-SHEE-kah. I almost said machina because that is totally different. And you see the little red flashes there. If you look closely and make sure you have your face as close to the screen as possible with your volume turned all the way up, you'll see a very famous painting of some conquistadors meeting the Aztecs. So this is definitely an alternative history game. From the Aztec perspective, there is a lot of really interesting mechanics with it. It is definitely a traditional roguelike, but it's one that if you take a methodical, good, well-reasoned approach, good things can happen. But that's it for now. This is Asher. I think that was a solid introduction to the game, and honestly better than I expected to do. Feel free to like this video if you did like it, especially because it helps make Dawn of the meh-SHEE-kah show up on YouTube searches when people eventually hopefully look for it. This game's really like trying to freak you out right now. But yeah, that's it for this one. We'll definitely do this again soon. Subscribe if you like it, or just say something in the video. That's fine. If you have any pronunciation advice or other life advice for the game, by all means, I'm all ears. I'm always happy to be backseated. I'll stream this as well at some point, but I'm going to do some off-stream runs first just to kind of kickstart the series. So other question that I had, if you want to see face cam here, let me know. I'm kind of non-committal either way, but it's all being recorded by OBS regardless. So that's enough of me rambling. Dawn of the meh-SHEE-kah, available on Steam right now. I recommend it. Hopefully you enjoyed it. We'll do this again soon. Take care.